You're still tuned in and locked on to Inspiration 92.3 FM on your radio dial this morning. It's still around town. We got somebody from around town, from around the ways. He's in the studio with us this morning. Marvin is in the studio. What's up, Lagos?
What's up?
Marvin. Welcome. It's good to finally to see you in person.
Thank you for having me. Absolutely.
I should say, ladies, the impressive chest is in the studio. So if you're not streaming online right now, then you are missing out. You're missing out. So Marvin, we're going to jump right into it. First of all, how do you feel being back in Nigeria after your time at the Big Brother house?
Oh, I'm feeling good. Nigeria is home. So there's nowhere like home, you know the saying. So being back in Nigeria is amazing. And, that's where I was born. That's where I grew up. So being here is always a blessing. It's always such an amazing feeling to be here.
So prior to the house, when last were you in Nigeria?
Prior to the house, I think I was in Nigeria. I came like back and forth. Okay. I've been kind of going back and forth. Yeah.
You don't reach village recently. You haven't. But it's okay. It's okay. So how was the house for you? What was your experience like?
Oh, the experience is amazing. Like having two nations like South Africa and Nigeria coming together. I think this is the first time they've had that, right? So having these two nations come together and live in the same house, despite like their differences, different cultures, right, and having to fuse both of them together is an amazing thing to experience. And being one of 6 Nigerian guys to experience that is it's a blessing. Yeah.
Fantastic. So I've been asking everyone who I've interviewed like what they learned, a South African phrase or saying or something that they just picked up from the South Africans. I think Sandra's word was yo. So she picked up that one. Is there any special word that you learned that will now fit into the language that you use going forward? Because it happens. We meet people and then after spending time with them, we just pick up a part of their language. So did that happen for you?
Yes, definitely. Like there's actually a couple of them, but one that stands out to me is Oxalayo.
Oxalayo.
Oxalayo means like let me say at the end of the day or
last for Nigeria.
Yeah, last something like that. yeah, something like that.
It was for me just watching Nigerians and South Africans interact has always been interesting because we have a very colored history. If we're not trying to beat each other in football, which is the positive side, because we totally enjoy playing each other. Nigeria and South Africa can lose to everybody else, but losing to each other in football doesn't happen. Unfortunately, that colored history also includes some very ugly xenophobic situations. Is that something that came up as a conversation in the house? The realization of, at the end of the day, we're just two different people from the same continent. Like, was there I don't understand what we're fighting about anyway. Was that vibe present?
Yeah. I think like it wasn't like we didn't talk about it a lot, but I think like Yaya actually mentioned like it sometime during like a presentation or something like that, and it was something that I started like recognizing while I was there. I was like, you know what, like wow, this is present, and it was something where we as individuals recognized that, and we didn't let that stop us,
right.
And we had to like kind of. I think that's what the whole experience is about as well. Like, despite, we have this, differences or we have this history, it was something where, like, let's see how we can, like, come together as one. Okay. And I think we did. I think we really did.
Yeah. If we forgot me falling in love with 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐲, then we definitely came together.
Exactly.
Speaking about falling in love, you went into the house and you made it very clear to the entire world. Marvin is single and ready to mingle.
Yes.
Did you mingle, my guy?
Oh, I think that's a good word. But you know what? I think I did. I connected. I think I've used that word a lot.
Yeah.
Even in the house and outside the house, like something where I got with the females in the house, right? But for me, I just believe like it takes me some time to
deepen that connection.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And in the house, I was in the house for like 5 weeks. I know some people like got into like they connected like pretty fast. Like for example, like first day they're already on it.
See, Yemi is a special case. Yemi is. Shout out to all my Yoruba people, but Yemi is Yoruba. And I'm saying this with all the good connotations attached to it. You see, Yoruba people, they are the most attractive Nigerians. You will meet them before you can say hello, hi, you're falling in love. Yoruba people they're that addictive.
Yes, I could tell because like first day it was already like they were getting at it, you know. So one day I wasn't like I said, like when I was looking for bed, people were already mingled already.
Looking for partners.
We already got their partner already, you know. So yeah, so mine just kind of took me some time, and kind of when I was getting a hang of it, something else comes up, and no.
So who did you connect with? Was he Yaya?
Yeah, definitely. Like I connected with Yaya very well. Like even from like day one, I think like Yaya was like day one. You know, we already started connecting. It was something where I was like, okay, I connected with you, Yaya, but I'm still learning other people's names, so like kind of like let's take it a little slow. Let me get to like meet other people, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely like Yaya is I definitely connected with Yaya.
Okay. Unfortunately, you didn't succeed in bringing Yaya into Nigeria.
Don't worry, we'll make it happen.
That's the energy that I'm looking for. So Marvin, you are a well-traveled man as far as reality shows are concerned. It seems like, is there any reality show you haven't been on?
There's a couple of them I've not been on yet, but I'm fortunate and I guess blessed to have had the experience, had the opportunity to be in several reality shows, like let me say the America's Got Talent, the Circle, even like Big Brother USA as well. I was almost about to get on there. It was so.
So I think the most popular memory that I have of you is the America's Got Talent. The famous chemical engineer scene where you spilled some chemicals on yourself and everybody was panicking like, oh my God. Next thing we know, man's ass taking off the shirt. And Terry Crews had to respond.
That was amazing. Like, I mean, we all know America's Got Talent stage is one of the biggest stages, if not the biggest stage to like perform. Not just in America, like in the world, really. So that was great, and that was like almost like my first one that I did.
You looked a lot younger then, clean shaven,
you know. So actually, the little beard that I have now,
is from the house.
I have to pick out his very beard. Like this little beard that I have right now actually happened in the house. It was like a thing where like they were like, should we cut it off or should we leave it? And the house, they were like, no, just let it go. Like I was like, okay, I'll leave it. And that's how it happened. Like I let my beard, I guess, and it doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, the benefits right there. Beards are in season. Shout out to all those who are not wearing beards. Philip, you're all right. You got a bit of a beard going on, so you're fine. So, going to all these reality shows, is that like a thing for you? Is that like, I do reality shows, the same way some other people say, I do movies. Is that like your shtick?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like I would say like for me like everything kind of happened like I want. It's one of those things where you have, let me say, like a talent for something,
right.
Then you realize it, and then when you approach that talent, it's like all these opportunities start coming.
Right.
Yeah, it was kind of like what happened to me, where like I just realized like my purpose. I talked about it in the house, with me, with engineering. There was a thing like I wanted engineering for myself, right? Chemical engineering, because I had passion for like chemistry and wanted to always be an engineer. And then it so happened when I started figuring out like my purpose in life, tied with God and everything that comes with that. Like now I want engineering for myself, but what does God want for me?
And out there.
I mean, that was like my question. Like I know I was praying and asking God like, this is what I want, but whatever you want for me, whatever it may be, like I said, like I could go home and go preach in my village or whatever he wants for me. And that's when like all these opportunities started coming. Like I've never heard of Big Brother, and my mom talked about it, and I applied and I got in. Casting directors started looking for me, and all these things like just started like adding up. Like at the point I had like actually like 2 shows that I could like juggle. Like
really?
Which one should I go to? Yeah.
Now you got to cue me in. Which ones?
it was the Circle and Too Hot to Handle.
But you were on the Circle.
So that's the choice I had to make, like I am the production, and okay, so which one? So it actually makes sense to me because now it's actually called like the Circle Singles. And it was like the Circle Singles and like Too Hot to Handle, one of those, They're like, okay, Marvin, you can really just go to. So
my goodness.
You know, so I mean, for me, that's what happens when you really let God like take control of your purpose of your life.
The doors just open.
Yeah, the doors just open. It's crazy. Yeah.
So it's kind of personal. Now there's one door that doesn't seem to have opened just yet, and that's the door to the special one. What's going on, man? Because you can't look this good. You can't look this good.
Yeah.
And there's no special one. It's just I'm finding it. I mean, I understand, but for the rest of the world, we're finding it hard to understand how. How has that door not opened yet?
You know what? I'm actually something I tell like my brother, like my family. I'm like, you know what? I wonder like what the girl that I'll end up with will look like. You know what's crazy? I actually do pray for that person.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's just something that's fascinating to me as well. Like, but I do believe, just like the way God led me to my purpose, I do believe God is gonna lead me to her some way. You know, it's just something. And you know, I've been. Of course, there's people I've been like connecting with, and you know, we'll see how that goes. But definitely something that, it's something that I've been. You know, my mom is definitely ready for that. That's for sure.
It's always the moms. It's always the moms.
So my mom.
Did mom stop you when you were growing up? Of course, you've always looked like this, at least facially. And ladies, that's to say that he's a good-looking man. Was mommy always like, okay, you know, not now, focus on because you are Igbo. And I'm fully aware of what an Igbo mother can tell you when it comes to these things. She can say things like, Marvin, focus on your books, focus on your studies. Did she ever stop you from dating while you were growing up?
Well, by the way, I'm from Rivers. I know, like, I think I'm from Rivers, Port Harcourt, which is like 𝐒𝐿. I know, like, we kind of came down from, like, I think the history is like we came.
It's connected.
It's connected. You know,
it's
the language, everything is almost similar.
We're not trying to offend 𝐒𝐿 people, but there are similarities in language. I understand a bit of 𝐒𝐿. I can't speak it, but I can understand like.
My brother-in-law is Igbo, my niece is Igbo, so there's connection there. Like, it's one. We are all one. Like, so, really.
Mommy never stopped you growing up from the ladies, because I'm pretty sure you were getting the attention on the regular. In secondary school, I went to all-boy school. I went to a Catholic school. So you see, I guess she directly like guided me towards not talking to like the girls. Not I mean, because I went to all-boy school where like when we see I went to like a seminary school. So I know them Catholic schools.
Exactly. So when we see a girl, it's like, oh my God, like. Look, you know, when a girl, like a teacher or something coming to school, you know, we're like excited to like see, you know, it was one of those things. Yeah, so she definitely like contributed to that. So,
now, does she have a preference? I know my mom has a preference. I will never say it on radio. I know mom is listening. You will never hear me say it to the entire world. But my mom has a preference. I'm not saying you should name like the tribe or like the skin color or anything, but does your mom have a preference like, oh, I want you to be with somebody from here?
No, actually, my mom doesn't. I think my mom like trusts me a lot, and you know she believes in me. You know, but so she's never really mentioned that. Actually, she never really mentioned that. But I know my mom believes in me, and for me, like I can actually say it. Mine is not really like a tribe thing or what a person looks like or just anything like that. Mine is basically like whoever I believe, whoever I connect with, you know, the best. It doesn't have to do anything with tribe or what the person looks like. That's big for me, you know, because I've traveled. Like, at the end of the day, as a universe, as a world, we are really like one. We have a lot of similarities, you know, all that, right? So it's not really a thing of like. I don't have like a specific of like, okay, this is like who I want to be with.
So I'm a very particular person when it comes to certain things, and one of the things I'm particular with is food. What's your favorite food and favorite protein? Now I should warn you, the answer to this question will determine whether we remain friends after the interview or we just it was nice meeting you, man.
Oh man.
But no pressure all the same.
You probably have seen that in Big Brother house. Like, you know, one thing I didn't know that I was so into food until Big Brother.
Yo, really?
I don't know if I would say, actually, I don't know if I would say like I'm like a big foodie, right? But it's almost a thing where like I've never been deprived like of food like that. So it's like when you don't have it, and you know, with the muscle, with like my body, I have to like maintain it.
Right.
But when it comes to food, right, there's different foods I like. Nigerian food, like there's different foods I like. right? Like egusi and pounded yam.
My man, come on, give me some. Yeah. Egusi for the win.
Egusi and pounded yam is my big one, you know.
Yes, sir.
And I really like, white rice and stew with like goat meat.
Come on, give me some. You see that goat meat right there? That's the clincher for
I'm
me.
telling you.
If you don't like goat meat, we can't be friends.
No.
Goat is elite.
Yeah,
it's
but
elite.
you know one thing about South Africa?
Yeah.
One thing I learned. You know how Nigeria, we can mix goat meat and let me say chicken and beef in one food or like soup with stockfish, fish, everything. They don't do that. They don't do that.
Yo,
they have to have only one meat at a time. Only one type of protein at a time, basically.
South Africans, what are you doing? Variety is the spice of life. It's clearer when you have meat.
Yes.
Yeah.
They said no, it's a waste to them. Like they said they don't condone that. So when we had like our Valentine's Day where there was different meats, in Nigeria we are grabbing goat meat, they are grabbing this, they are grabbing that. But South Africa they grab one at a time, and when they're done, I was surprised. That one is very surprising to me.
Talking about how South Africans handle food, I noticed that the South Africans were heavy on the ketchup. Like there was ketchup on everything.
Yes, they were big on like
bread,
condiment,
toast, eggs, ketchup.
Everything, cheese, a lot of they put a lot of cheese, they put a lot of they use like mayo, they use a lot of condiments, like you said, the ketchup and they actually do a lot,
So I'm glad for the show because I at least I picked that one up. Now I know some things about how South Africans like their food. What about their music? I know Afrobeats is big.
Afrobeats is big, yeah.
Of course, you would have touched South Africa, but South Africans, they seem to be like very patriotic when it comes to their music.
Yeah.
Was there any South African tune or style that they hooked you up with?
What's that one? You know the South African dance. I danced a lot in the house. Like I'm a her, like that dance where you have to do the legs thing. You know, you go to the right, you go to the left.
I can't get that.
That was good. But one thing I learned about South Africa is like the way they dance. You know, like Nigeria. Our dance is energy. Leg work. For them, it's more like they said like it's no sweat. So they just do calm dance. Calmly, you know. We're like Nigeria, we are jumping up, kneeling down.
We're energetic people. We can't help ourselves.
Yes.
We can't help ourselves.
Yeah, we can. So those like they said like the goal is not to sweat when they dance. So can you imagine?
Come to a Nigerian wedding and make that statement. Hustle you outside the building. So now that your surgeon in the house is done, what's next for you? Is there another reality show? I'm sorry, I just had to ask.
Hey, that could be a thing. I know, like actually, as I came out of the house, I saw like The Circle and other shows like Too Hot to Handle. They had like a spin-off.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if I was not in the house, maybe that could have been a thing. But hey, we never know, right? For reality TV is something like it's been fun, you know, and I don't really know if I'm gonna do more, but that's something to come. I'll talk about that like on my social media, Instagram, you know, TikTok, all that stuff.
I look forward to hearing it.
The social media is Marvin 𝐍𝐒𝐏𝐈𝐑𝐀𝐓𝐈𝐎𝐍𝐿, at Marvin 𝐍𝐒𝐏𝐈𝐑𝐀𝐓𝐈𝐎𝐍𝐿, MARVIN
All the platforms, TikTok inclusive?
Yes, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, just Marvin 𝐍𝐒𝐏𝐈𝐑𝐀𝐓𝐈𝐎𝐍𝐿.
Okay.
And for what's coming next, after this, you know, I talked about like, you know, the Red TV, but in terms of like what I'll be doing and what I'm already doing, I do have a business that focuses around fitness and health. By the way, my purpose in life is to make a difference in the life of others through fitness. So anything that has to do with like fitness, health, you know, losing weight, building muscle, you know, your mental health, you know, feeling better, energy, performance, all that stuff. If you think about that, you think about Marvin. I'm the guy that
for sure. And your fitness channel blew up, especially during the coronavirus.
Wow, you knew that. Yeah.
I used to work out till somebody tried to kill me. Yeah,
so I'm not gonna try to kill you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. The person didn't enjoy the experience as much as I did.
Yeah.
Have you been watching Nigerian movies?
Yes.
Have you seen Brotherhood?
Brotherhood. I think I saw that, but I saw like
the trailer.
I saw that come out, but I haven't really watched it.
Okay. Now the reason why I'm asking is because Brotherhood has like it's sort of groundbreaking in the number of stunts that were pulled up in that film. We had people falling from the Third Mainland Bridge. We had some really, really interesting fight sequences, and I'm just here thinking to myself, if I was a casting director, Marvin is out of the house, and he's in Nigeria for a minute. Quick movie.
quick movie. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know it, my guy. So yeah. With the fitness thing, I'm also into like the acting, right?
Yeah.
It's something that I want to explore. Of course, I've done all these reality TV shows, different personalities, different ones. It's something that I believe that I would like to pursue, as well as modeling.
You already there now.
Exactly. So I've modeled in the past, and I've modeled internationally, both like in Japan, Mexico, Peru, different countries like, Italy, Europe and stuff like that. So I've done that, but that was difficult with like, my school, because I was doing it while I was going to school. Then, so like some breaks, I would have to like travel to go model.
Yeah.
So it's something I would like to like pick back up on, so definitely. So one of this modeling agency, you can come put some shirt on me, and I don't wear shirt to love, but
from your lips to God's ears, as long as it's His purpose for you, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen.
You know it.
This has been a wonderful conversation, but unfortunately we gotta go because we got bills to pay. Marvin is on social media, Marvin 𝐻𝐈. 𝐻𝐈 is ACHI. So pretty simple, MARVACHI on all social media platforms.
Yeah. MARVINACHI.
It's been a pleasure.
Let's go.
Keep eating the egusi and the goat meat.
You know it.
Avoid Shara. Avoid Shara. All right, you're still listening to Inspiration 92.3 FM on your radio. Coming up at 10 a.m. this morning, it will be a look at the entertainment stories that are making the rounds. If you blink, you'll miss it. Don't touch your dial.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more, leave a comment, and like. Thank you.